Welcome everyone. Hey over there on YouTube. Hey everybody. We're starting to let everybody into the waiting room. Hi Rachel.
Hi, Akasha.
Okay, good. Got all of our techie goodies going here. We'll start in a second. Uh, so we got a couple minutes. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have so much fun today.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. I'm very excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for asking me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. You've got so many fun things planned for us today. I've been excited like a little kid all day.
Yay! That's a nice.
So, sorry, what?
I said, yeah, that's a good state of being to be in, isn't it? Play is so important for us.
It is. It is. And where are you now? You're in Australia?
No, I'm in the UK.
Are you? Whereabouts?
Okay, so I'm just down the road from Glastonbury.
Oh, good. Wow.
Yeah. Uh,
Nice.
Otherwise known as Avalon.
Yeah.
So,
So
um,
now I know why you're there.
yes, I was going to say, I bet you do.
It's been a while, but I used to live in England. I used to live in London. I lived there for 5 years when I was in high school, and then I went back for about 6, 8 months and studied in London again in college, and I love it. I went to Stonehenge back when you could just walk up and do whatever you want.
Oh, those
In
were the days. I haven't
the-
been able to do that. That must have been amazing to get that close to them.
Oh yeah, there was no fence. There was no, I don't even know if there was a parking lot. You just parked and walked around and laid on it and did whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they only do that at certain times of the year now. And I'm lucky to have been there on the summer solstice where you're allowed to do that.
Wow. Yeah, that would be lovely. Well, I
Yeah.
know another one of our guests, Carol Nyack, she said that she took a group of 30 people to the inner circle last week.
Wow.
So we got to tune into some of that yummy energy. So
Mm.
okay, let's get started.
Yay.
Okay, so welcome everyone. Akasha here. Welcome to another amazing experience in our Awaken Your Intuitive Gift series of the Bliss Life Global Healing. And we're going to have so much fun today. So get ready. And I don't even know if you need a pen or whatever, but this is going to be super, super fun. Now, again, all of these are streaming live to YouTube. You can go there. And if you want to subscribe and put notifications, then you'll always know when we're live and you'll always know when we put up a new video. And here's our schedule. We've done all of these people and we've got a few more to go. So tomorrow we have Monique Hunt. We're going to talk about ancestral story clearing. We have a brand new, we got to switch that around. We have a brand new, wonderful speaker. One of our speakers had a death in the family. So I got an amazing teacher to step in, Leora, and she's going to do a full 90-minute class with us, Awakening as a Birthright. And Jennifer Longmore is going to help you navigate the Akashic records. I'm going to take you through Awakening Your 360 Senses, and then we're going to do live intuitive readings next Monday to kick off the fun. So make sure that you join us. And today we have a new guest, somebody new to me, and I'm super excited about it. Rachel, you'll love this. Donna told me that every time she looks at your picture, she feels happy. So I thought, well, that's some wonderful power, right, to have. So Rachel is going to take us through an intuition game. We're going to do a bunch of interactive stuff. We even have like a graphic for you. And she's going to talk about rooted spirit, how Mother Earth supports and nurtures our intuition. So it's going to be super exciting. So let me share a little bit about Rachel. If you were here a couple minutes ago, she said that she lives near Glastonbury, which is a beautiful sacred space, as many of you might know it as Avalon, which supports her perfectly, as you'll find out in a second. She's a bright, shiny soul and cosmic superstar activator, a priestess, spiritual teacher, healer, medium, and channel. And she's the founder and tutor of Priestess Priest of Mother Earth training and online rooted spirit course through the Glastonbury Goddess Temple and through her own work. Rachel is an international intuitive teacher and healer of many modalities, and she created the new Bright Shiny Soul Sessions, Soul Healing Circles program, and seasonal public videos highlighting her wheel of Mother Earth. She's a priestess of Avalon, priestess of the goddess, daughter of Mother Earth, and she loves to guide others to awaken to their exquisite vibration of their soul and oneness and heal what's in their way of that. Root your spirit, reconnect with Mother Earth, and be fully sovereign, present, embodied, and free to be who you truly are, shining brightly, following your intuition. Woo! I get excited just reading it all. And then make sure that you get her free gift. And she's got a special offer we'll share with you in a little bit. Her free gift is called Rooted Spirit Grounding and Centering Meditation. So this is going to be awesome. And of course, you can get everything. Let's go back here at nanakasha.com/BlissLifeGlobalHealing. So if you sign up there, you'll get the reminders, you get the free gifts, you get access information, you get all the videos, audios, everything. So let's not delay any longer and jump in and welcome you, Rachel. Thank you so much for being here. There's so much goodies that you have for us, but just give us a little touchstone about the highlights of how you came to be doing this beautiful work.
Well, Akasha, each one of us is a force of nature. We truly are. And of course we are, because our flesh, our blood and bones are of the earth. She created our bodies. She created the vessel of our infinite souls. So, it only follows that we're deeply connected to her. And when we remember to reconnect to her energies, to her wisdom, to her healing. You've mentioned some of the hot spots around the planet. I'll get to that in a little while. But I believe that when we do take the time to do this, then she can really help us. She can really help us ground us, hold us, make us feel safe, so that we can hear the wisdom of our soul. We can hear our intuition. And I believe she gives us, with that holding, she can give us the courage and to move through any doubt, any self-doubt, to actually take action, to follow this intuition. Yeah. And I also believe that not only are there the hot spots on the planet that most of us here, I'm sure, will know. We've got Stonehenge. We were talking about it just before, weren't we? Yeah. There's Stonehenge, and then there's Glastonbury. There's the tour in Glastonbury and Avalon. There's Mount Shasta, and there's Uluru in Australia, and there's a few others of like the real hot spots on planet Earth, and they do something. I think if we can tune into it, but it's like for me, it's like a vortex. Something happens in those places, like a portal, and there can be an awakening or a deeper awakening into the mysteries of our soul, whether it be past life connection or healing for this life. I mean, so many amazing things happen in these places for so many people. I mean, it can't be a coincidence, right?
Oh no, not at all. I've been doing retreats in sacred places, from Egypt to pyramids here in the Yucatan to places in England. Yeah, and it's fun to me, because it's like, we can get together in a room or a place and it's wonderful, but you add this other element, right? You're connecting with ancestors, with Gaia, with energies, things that are waking up right now too. More things are waking up.
Absolutely, yes. And the other thing I believe is I believe we've got our own personal hotspots on planet Earth. I think we have our own places that trigger something within us, that bring us to a place of remembering or awakening or healing or whatever it is. So just to share, because you asked me about how I got to this love of Mother Earth. So when I was small, when I was a child, I had a fascination, actually it's probably safe to say an obsession rather than a fascination, of all things Africa. right? And I would watch all the wildlife programs. I would read Joy Adamson. Do you remember Joy Adamson?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
She wrote Born Free. She wrote
Oh
one
yes, I loved it. Loved it.
story, and she
Yeah.
wrote many stories about her life in Africa and her bringing up, raising these orphan lion cubs. One of whom is called Elsa.
Elsa. Yeah.
Oh my God. Thinking about it makes you
Oh
want
yeah.
to cry.
Oh
Actually.
yeah, it's such a big part of my growing up. Even my partner, he's 10 years younger than me, and he's all like, "Oh, yeah."
Elsa, right? So I would just consume these books and read more and read more. And then as I got a little bit older, I watched Born Free the movie, and then Out of Africa, Gorillas in the Mist. I mean, it was like my parents are like, what is this thing she's got with Africa? So that never left me. And as life went on, and then I moved to London and I married, and I always had been a spiritual seeker. But when I got to London, I was 30, I got busy, I got into London life. And it's probably fair to say that I felt a little bit like I was on the hamster wheel. I mean, I had a blast. I love London. It's such a high vibrational city in terms of fun and so many opportunities and different people from all over the world. However, I was 30, I just got my degree. I thought, okay, time to be serious and I need to achieve. So I kind of got on that hamster wheel, and it didn't make me that happy. So luckily I had all this energy within me, these memories of when I was a child that never left me. And then my husband and I, for our honeymoon, we went traveling. We went to Canada, and I'll never forget going to Vancouver, and it seemed that every road, every street I looked down, there was either the ocean or mountains or both. I mean, what a beautiful city. And then we took the drive, after a few days in Vancouver, we took that beautiful drive around between the ocean and the coastal mountains towards Whistler to start going up into the Rockies. And oh my gosh, Paul and I, my husband Paul, we literally had to stop the car because to see the sight of, I guess it must have been Blackham Mountain there, because the coastal mountains were huge for us coming from England, but then just see the massive mountains, we literally stopped the car and went, it was so amazing. So that trip, it did something for me. It helped me understand that it expanded me. It expanded my heart. It made me see that there was another place to be, and nature could be a big part of it. So after a couple of years, we were getting tired of our life, and we said, let's go for an adventure. And we said, let's go and live in Canada. Let's go to Vancouver. Because there was something about those mountains and the Pacific Ocean that just got to my heart. And then, of course, when we decided to do that, then it was the opportunity. It was a perfect opportunity to go traveling. So I said to Paul, I said, well, we have to go traveling, and we have to go to Africa.
Yeah, I was going to say. Wonderful.
So we did. And it was the most amazing experience of my life. And I would say that Africa is Canada, the West Coast of Canada is a heart place for me, but Africa is a soul place for me.
Mm-hmm.
I had so many incredible experiences there. I found myself in Kenya at Joy Adamson's house.
Oh, wow.
And I found myself in Karen Blitzham's house. And I found myself, I said as a child, I used to watch the nature programs. well, as a child, I remember seeing this extraordinary place where you could have breakfast with giraffes. And I found myself there. And I found myself going to Rwanda to hike through the most beautiful mountains there to find gorillas. The same gorillas, they're descendants of the gorillas from Dian Fossey's study in Gorillas in the Mist.
Yeah.
It was one experience after another, and it broke me open. It completely broke me open to possibility and to the calling of my soul. So much so that we were in Malawi and we camped. I mean, this was not a glamorous trip. We were on a truck, truck traveling through Africa. It was fabulous. And we were camping. And there was one day that a dear friend of mine who I was traveling with, who I made, a good friend I made on the journey, she had some angel cards with her. And so I said, oh, what have you got there, Susie? And she said, well, they're angel cards. She looked at my face going, well, what are they? And she said, well, they're like tarot, but they're messages from your angels. Here, have one. So I took this card and I had this incredible sensation right from the top of my crown, going right through my center and out of my feet, going down into the earth that I was standing on. And I looked at her and I said, I don't know what's happened. Can I have another one? She gave me another one. And the same thing happened. And I looked at her and I said, Susie, I've got no idea how I know about all these angels, but I do.
Oh, wow. I love it.
Akasha, that was it. I was like, okay, what can you teach me? What can you show me? I'm open. I'm so open. And that was it. That was my rather exciting awakening. And I never looked back, of course. So, I really do believe that we do have some hot spots.
Absolutely.
That there's a connection. And everything was so synchronistic. The truck book was The Alchemist. So it was my turn to read The Alchemist. And of course, it's like, blow myself open once more. So many synchronicities and going to all these places that I have read about and seen as a child. And I'm just so deeply grateful because that started me on a journey following my intuition to being here now and for being a healer, a medium, and working with people's angels and reconnecting them with their soul, and then more recently the whole priestess piece, which was when I came back to England because I was called by Glastonbury. And and there's so many stories out there of people being called to Glastonbury.
I'll bet. Yeah. Well, I think that this is important for everybody to understand that when you have these, right, you have a love for some place, even if you've never been there or you had an affinity as a child. I was obsessed with Greece, with ancient Greece when I was a child. We went there, I was about 9. And I followed the tour guide around for an entire week. Every time we were at a temple and he'd go, and this is, and then I would go, but it was like I knew everything, like I had been there, but I had no context, but you have to listen to those, right? Their energy, they're part of your soul. They're, like you said, you went there, you broke open, you met people who it's all part of reading that little path. And we're, of course, told not to listen to our inner self and to go do something practical and boring. But this is what we're talking about life is, right? Breaking yourself open, going to these places, listening to that call.
Absolutely, because it's so important when we do, because think about it when we don't follow our intuition. There I was, and I can relate to that because I was there. I was feeling stuck. I was like afraid I was going to be on this hamster wheel forever. I felt that I wasn't in control of my life. I felt like a little puppet and somebody else was pulling the strings. You know, and that's what I believe that intuition does. It's us. We're listening to our sacred resonance. We're following our soul's purpose. We're following the contract of the divine. And I really believe that that Mother Earth can help us with this.
Yes, so let's dive in. And I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this, but because we're talking about locations that resonate for you, if you've never had an astrocartography, I think that's what it's called, reading, I highly recommend it. I had one years ago, and it's where an astrologer crosses your chart with a map, and they tell you what the energies are like in different places for you. So,
cool.
oh, it's really amazing. It's amazing. I never knew about it. And a friend of mine hired one because she was moving to a town, but she literally wanted to know where within that town to live. And she was growing her business and did very well. And then she wanted to meet a soulmate, and she went back, and the lady was telling her, if you're over here, it's good for these energies or those energies. And so I did the same thing. And she told me things like, oh, you want to go to Greece for your honeymoon. If you go over here, it's very good for publishing. These are good places to put on an event. This is what this is like for you. She won't tell you to go or not go, but you can ask about, oh, I'm thinking of moving here or there. And it was quite profound because two different people that I met barely knew me. This wasn't the lady in the reading. This was two other people who knew how to do this. They asked me my whatever sign and whatever. And then they said, how could you live there? Wasn't that all about, lawsuits and losing everything? And this was where I was when I went through my divorce and my bankruptcy. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what it was like. And they knew nothing about me other than this. So it's very, these places where you feel good, go back there. For me, it's pyramids and, like you, nature and ancient places and really sacred mystic places. And I like nature. And so you don't have to like mountains. You could like the beach, or you could just like a park. You could like, anything, but there is so much power. Okay. So I know we're going to play an intuition game, and I've got a chart I can put up on the screen. And you're going to do something about the seasons and rooting and all that. So you lead, and I will do what you want.
Thank you. I think what I'd love to do for everybody, because I've spoken enough, and what you could do with me is that I just invite everybody just to close your eyes and just to have a moment to, just breathe in and just think about a favorite place of yours on the planet. And it could be somewhere where you've traveled to, or it could be somewhere very local to you that you visit all the time. And just breathe into that place and, really let your senses come aware. What do you notice? What do you see? What do you smell? You may smell something that might be a familiar smell. And how does it make you feel? Just give you a moment in this beautiful place. Yeah, and then when you're ready, just come back. And then maybe, Akasha, you could tell me, how that was for you, where you were, how did it make you feel?
Well, I kind of expected to go to Egypt. It's one of my favorite places, but I went to, and this is not a bad thing, I live in the Yucatan, so I went to my favorite pyramid here. It's a place called Uxmal. They have several pyramids, and I was on top of what they call the Great Pyramid. And at the top of it, there's a lot of carvings of, I call it star codes of, there's even little things of, looks like aliens who came down, and it's like instructions on how to ascend, how to remember, and how to emerge enlightened. And so it was wonderful because I was there alone. You're above everything. They're not eagles, but they look like huge, they're more like vultures, or these big huge birds were going around in circles, and the jungle was all around it was very dry, and what I could smell was heat. It's like the heat that rises off in the afternoon. That to me it's like a cleansing, very intensified sort of sun connection. Just that real deep thing. And I felt the top of the pyramid like it wasn't really in the physical. It was more misty, etheric.
Yeah.
And there was it. I usually take people there or groups there, and we do processes. So because it was just me, it was like they were doing work with me. There was sort of an opening.
Wow. And that, how did it make you feel? How are you feeling now?
I feel very loved and connected. I feel grounded above and below when I'm there. I get very expanded, really cosmic, really out there, but I feel very, very grounded. So it was a balance.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I hope everybody else enjoyed it and found something that Mother Earth gives to you, because she always does. She always does. And I think the more rooted we are, the more grounded we are, the more we can notice how safe we feel. So we can expand. We can expand, and we can be fully self-expressed, knowing that we're safe. Yeah, knowing that we're held by her. It's powerful. It's such a powerful thing. What I'd really like to do now I'd like to do another exercise for people, to take people through a grounding.
Okay.
And to take us through to connecting to the energies of this season. And then afterwards, I'll ask you to share that chart. But I'd love people to, is that okay?
Yes, sounds great.
I'm just going to get my drum.
Oh, goody, goody.
So this is something that I never thought I'd do, like make my own drum.
You made it. How fun.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, I give thanks to the deer that gave its body, gave its skin for this drum. And it comes from Scotland. The deer comes from Scotland, and there is a cull every year. They don't kill them for the drums. Let me just make that clear, But they have a problem up there with so many of them, so there is a cull. So it's nice to know that it still goes on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you get that spirit. I got a drum recently from I work with Mayan shaman and Aztecs and everything here. And one of my friends is Mayan, and he has beautiful ceremonies. So I went to one in February, and he had a few drums out for sale. And so I said, tell me about these drums. And he said, well, I made them with some other people. We did this sacred ceremony because I already have drums, and I was like, I'm drawn to one. And he said, well, you tell me which one you're drawn to. And we weren't even standing near them anymore. I said, the one that's XYZ. And he said, yes. And it's actually buffalo. So it was quite like, whoa. Yeah. And so being like, and in so much gratitude because of the energy that not just that one particular animal, right, but the spirit of that animal on the earth brings. So it's a gift that they leave behind.
It is a gift that I leave behind. And I don't know if you noticed, but I find this quite funny. I love the synchronicities, but with some amusement as well. I don't know if you noticed, but I've got stags on the wall behind
Yeah.
So with the energy of the stag. So
nice.
I invite you. I invite you just to close your eyes and take some deep breaths. With every breath you take, allow yourself to go deeper, relaxed. Breathing deeply dropping into stillness. Using the breath, sending the breath anywhere it needs to go. If there's anything stopping you coming into stillness, the mind is busy. If you ever get monkey mind, I get monkey mind. The breath and earth is really good for giving us presence. If there's anything achy in your body, just breathe. Put your hand anywhere on your body. If there's some pain, give yourself love. Give yourself healing. And then when you're ready, breathe into your heart, your beautiful heart. With every breath you take, allow your heart to open even more deeply. And welcome the presence of your soul. Welcome the light of your soul into your heart, into your body. And just notice if you see or if you sense this light. What does it look like for you? Could be golden light or a white light or something else, a different color. What does it feel like for you? And keep breathing it in and sending this light, the radiant essence of your soul, sending it into every single cell of who you are, across time and space and form and non-form. So in other words, every lifetime, wherever that is in the cosmos, not just on Earth, you're connecting to the infinite now of your soul. And breathe that in. Bathe in this energy, this essence, this high vibration. And bring this light through your chakras to cleanse and clear and open. Expand each of your chakras through the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the upper heart, the throat, the third eye and the ears at the temples and the crown. And just imagine it's like champagne popping, coming out of your crown, coming all around you, and your hair follicles, your skin, your aura, your etheric layers, your entire energy field being filled with the light of your soul. Just breathe it in. How does this feel for you? And now send this light. It's so important to anchor ourselves here on our beautiful planet. So send this light down, root this light down into the earth. Send it down your arms, your hands, dripping off your fingers, down your legs, out of your feet, down into the foundations of your home or wherever you are, down through into the earth below, wrapping these roots around anything you see. So through the rubble of the foundations, down around the mycelium and the root network, past the creatures that live here in the earth, down deeper still. Now the roots of the big trees, down deeper still through the layers, coming into the sacred caves and dark spaces of Mother Earth, wrapping around the rocks, the stones, the boulders, going past the bones and the fossils, going deeper still into the debris, the decay of Mother Earth, around trees long ago fallen, down deeper still into the underground caverns, around those stalactites and the stalagmites, and down through the underground river, the aquaflows, Feel your roots of light just slip through this water, going deep out and deep around the minerals and the metals, and then into the crystalline core, the crystal grid of Mother Earth, wrapping around any crystals that you see today. What do you see, or what do you imagine? What do you sense that are there for you? What colors? Well, you may know the name of the crystals. Wrap your roots around them. And if you haven't already, find the rose quartz. So beautiful, healing for the heart. And as you wrap your roots around the rose quartz, just notice if anything happens in your heart. Breathing this in, this heart opening, this heart healing, the rose quartz. And also now find the green, the jade of the heart chakra. And again, notice if anything happens. It may not, that's fine. And then find the black crystals, the really grounding black crystals, the black obsidian, black tourmaline. And then out, your roots are right into the heavy holding womb of Mother Earth. And there she is. She's always there to hold your roots and fill your roots with her energy, her red earth energy. So breathe her in. Sense her light. I see it as like a brownie red energy coming into your roots of light, breathing it in, bringing it up through the layers of earth. So wrapping around all those crystals, around the minerals and the metals, and up through the waters, around the stalagmites and the stalactites, up through the petrified wood, the fallen trees, up through the layers, past the fossils and the bones, around rocks and stones and boulders, and up around roots, past the creatures that live here, through around the mycelium, up through the rubble, around the foundations, and up into your body, into your feet, into your hands, breathing her in and into every single cell of who you are across time and space. So every incarnation here on Mother Earth, you are being held. Feel her holding. Feel her presence. You're like one of her trees, bendable in the storms and the breezes that come your way. You do not break, you bend, for you are held. Feel how strong you are and anchored, and also how heart-centered and expanded as you bring in her energy all the way through your chakras, up the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the upper heart, the throat, the third eye, the ears, and the crown, and all around you in your aura, your etheric layers, your entire energy field being filled with her holding presence. And just take a moment to notice how you feel. Do you feel held? Do you feel anchored? Do you feel safe? Do you feel calm, rooted? And now I invite you to focus back into the heart as we welcome this season's energy, the sacred blossom and bloom of Mother Earth. We welcome you. We thank you for your presence in our lives. We thank you for the beauty that you give to us here in the Northern Hemisphere, the springtime blossom and bloom. And I invite you to notice what you notice, see what you see, smell what you smell, feel what you feel as you connect with this beauty, as you connect to the flowers that are around you, the flowers that literally are calling out for us to stop and notice, to be present to the absolute beauty that is in front of us in nature. To be able to stop and hear and watch the bees and the butterflies, to hear the birds. What does it do for you? Do you feel the beauty? Do you feel pleasure? The pleasure of just remembering, connecting to the cherry blossom or the apple blossom or the hawthorn, or a meadow full of daisies and dandelions and buttercups. How does it make you feel? Do you feel an opening, shifting, a softening of the heart? She calls to us. She asks us to love ourselves, to love what we do and do what we love. This is the season of creating still, but creating from the heart as well as the mind. For we're inspired by the beauty that's all around us. And I invite you now to really connect to the beauty that you are, the beauty that lies within, that you can gift us with. You're shining. The gift of connecting to this beauty, of connecting to your soul, so you can confidently, with clarity, follow, move, follow your next steps for the highest good for yourself and for all, and for planet Earth. Blessed be. So I just ask you just to gently come back, to maybe move your fingers and toes, and when you're ready, to open your eyes. You may not want to come back.
I was like, do we have to? Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I would, I don't know if there's any way you can leave feedback or maybe put it in the chat. If there's something,
Yes.
I'd love to know where you went. If you went where you were, if you were in an orchard or the meadow, or you were just looking at flowers, and how it made you feel.
Yeah, you can put things in the chat when you're able to. And this is spring that we were focused on, blooming, because I was like blooming and blossoming, flowers and flowers and flowers. There's flowering trees here that get these beautiful orange flowers, and some of them are pink and sometimes they're yellow, and then they fall and they look like a carpet when you're walking.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, how wonderful. So you can actually feel them. If you took your shoes off, you could feel them under feet.
Yeah. So I love that. That's what I was seeing. And I live at the beach. I love the beach. So it's the beach and then turning around, and not just the jungle, but like these flowering trees just blooming, blossoming, and feeling expansive, colorful, very, I like the example of a flower. It's not going, oh, I don't want you to see me, they're just going like completely like, here I am in all my magnificence. So that sensation. Yeah.
I love that too. I often think about that when I look. I'm lucky. I have a meadow near me, right just near me. So I often look and I can see like the little white daisies
Yeah.
And I think of them, and they're just doing their thing and they're blooming. And I bet you they don't turn around and look at the bright yellow buttercups beside them going, huh, they're nice and brightly colored. Why am I only white and plain?
Exactly, right? Oh, you're just a show off, or oh, I wish I was this, or wish I was that. No, it's just there's just this opening, there's no hesitation. It's just that surrendering to expansion and letting all the light, the colors just come out.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's natural.
yeah, it is. It's what we've been told. Oh,
And you
don't.
know what? We are of nature too. So I believe it's our natural state of being to also, be in the flow and just to do what we're born to do, to grow, to shine, to flower, to blossom, to bloom.
Yeah, definitely. Courtney said, I'm reminded of how I have my morning coffee outside every morning, watching squirrels, rabbits, bumblebees, and birds all around me. My grass is growing, my trees are starting to blossom. It's wonderful. I went back to that.
Beautiful, beautiful, Courtney.
Yeah.
And how did it make you feel? I'd love to hear if you can write. Ah, good, yeah. Excellent, excellent.
Amazing. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? I mean, we don't even have to be there. I mean, it's even better if we can be there, get our feet onto it, but we can bring it in. We can bring it in. And I really do believe there's something to this. If, when we have our spiritual practice or our meditation or whatever it is, if we bring in nature,
Mm-hmm.
help us even more to open, to surrender.
I
To
like the idea of using this now with so many people locked down, so many people limited, let's say, in where they can go and how they can get out. I've been very blessed. I really haven't had to change my life very much. And where I live on the beach, they didn't close the beach. If you went into town, they closed the beach last year, but I could walk out to the beach every day. I could look at the stars. I could go into nature. I couldn't go to the pyramids for a while, but I can now. And but if you're somewhere, whether it's either limited or you live somewhere where you don't have a lot of nature, this is a beautiful thing to do, right? Come back and repeat that. Go in and really feel that lushness of Mother Earth, and go down. And I loved digging in the dirt as a kid or as a gardener. It's got that sensation of just richness and sense. It's a very sensorial.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I love that too. I every now and again I need to get my fingers in the dirt,
Yeah.
literally touching it.
Yeah.
And I can relate to what you were saying, because as a kid I used to help my dad do the leaves every autumn. And I used to love just being with him, but it was also, I remember feeling the leaves, literally feeling them in my hands, and just like going, wow, this is a really, there was something about that sensation.
Yeah, we used to jump in them. We would rake up all the leaves in piles or build forts, and we would jump in them, and just that sensation. And Pamela, who's in Hawaii, so she's got amazing nature around her. She said that she simply went to the infinite and she was absorbed into the energy and bliss. Um, but she's very attached with Mother Nature. So I would encourage you, and I think Rachel, is to do that expansion out this way and balance it down with the earth stuff, right? Because that's come up a lot on this series, is the idea that we can get caught up in this, like, ooh, getting out there and expanded, my favorite thing, but then enjoying the body and getting grounded in the earth and bringing that sensations and that sensitivity, that intuitive nature into this space as well, instead of only going out.
I think it's really important, because I certainly have done the spiritual bypass. When I was in Vancouver, I literally lived up a mountain high up. I had beautiful views over the ocean and the Pacific Islands. But I was definitely doing the spiritual bypass. Even though I was surrounded by nature, I really wasn't rooting into it.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm doing now. And that was, I think, one of the reasons why I was called back. My soul called me back to Glastonbury. And I didn't know why. I came and I took all the family with me. I said, kids, we're off. We're going to England.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why, but I always follow my intuition. And then just a few Yeah, about a month in, I met a priestess of Avalon, and it was like, oh, that's why I'm here, to learn the priestess. And so I did the priestess training. I did 3 years and then a further 2 years. And that really helped me get back in sync, I think, with Mother Earth. Mm-hmm. And actually then inspired me through the training, has inspired me to do my own training called Rooted Spirit, and to create the wheel of Mother Earth, and to do the training of a priest of Mother Earth. Mm-hmm. So
I also think different places do different things, right? There are places that help you expand, right, out to the universe and into bliss. And there's places that ground you more in your body or heal your root, or different places. Yeah. So lots of different kinds of healing. And well, I like all parts of Gaia.
Yeah, you're so right. I needed to be in Vancouver because I needed that real big spiritual awakening and growth. It really gave me that. And then I knew it was time to come home, come back to England, and to be more earthy and maybe more, I don't know, maybe more accessible to more people. I don't know. I still work with the angels and holy beings, but I just feel very grounded as well, which actually helps me be more expansive, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because sometimes you're learning this and you're practicing this and you're expanding this outer awareness, and then sometimes there's that practicality or that grounding, and having both, because that's what we're here to do right now, is to merge the two, to live in the both worlds, right? To walk both places, to be as intuitive as we are in our bodies, and active, sometimes more fully one way or the other, but to merge them.
To merge the two and to bring wholeness, to bring oneness here, mm-hmm. within our bodies, within here on Earth. Because our souls have chosen, if we're here, then our souls have chosen to have this experience on Mother Earth. So
absolutely, we are all here on purpose. So would you like me to show the chart?
Yeah, if we can show the wheel of Mother Earth, I will just go through that.
Okay, let's see here. Give me a sec. Here we go.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, brilliant. So this is the wheel of Mother Earth. So if you see, if you go to the spring equinox, and you go to sacred fire, yeah. So spring equinox is 21st of March, and we move through seasons every 6 weeks. So it's not just the quarters, the main seasons of spring, summer, autumn, and winter, but I've also created the in-between seasons, because there is a shift. So if we look at, for example, the spring equinox there, the sacred fire, you will see it on the right-hand side, which is east, yeah? So this wheel is also a directional wheel. So sacred fire is in the east, which makes sense, you think about it, because the sun rises in the east. And I've also discovered, and I'm still discovering more and more as I do it. I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and I just keep learning as I go around the wheel, go around the seasons. I keep learning more and more. But there is a connection between the season and our intuition, I found. So, for example, spring. So spring is fire for us. A wheel, and I'm following, I know there are different wheels that have different elements in different directions, but I'm following the Avalonian wheel, which was created by Kathy Jones, who created the Glastonbury Goddess Temple and her trainings. So I based it on that. So we're looking at the east, where it's fire. And fire is all about, the full-on creativity. Spring, it's called the greening time. Like everything is just beginning to grow. It's like bursting out of the earth. And for us, it's particularly about our mind, because it's about us creating too. And we create from our mind. We create, of course, from our soul, but the soul's ideas and the soul, you see, during winter time, that's when we dream. That's our resting time. That's the air. If you look at the north there at the top, that's the sacred air. That's all about the soul, the healing, the dreaming time, the clairvoyance, the clairaudience. And then during our winter months, we dream in our soul's desires for the coming year. So then as we move through the sacred air, we come to the sacred shoots and buds. So this is the beginning. That we see the first flowers. So we see the snowdrops and then the crocuses. And so there's a little bit of fire coming, but not fully there yet. And then we come to the fire with a full-on growth. And this is our time. If we connect to those energies, then Mother Earth really helps us with our own creating. And she helps us with our intuition, with the ideas. So all the dreaming, which we can do this consciously in the winter time, dream, or we can do it subconsciously. But we'll find that there is an energy. There's something about spring that I think really, it can launch us. It can just push us into doing something. You know, that idea that we've been sitting on for ages or mulling over it. It's like, yeah, it's time to do something, or a new job or a new activity or something new. It's very common for new things to happen during springtime. So Mother Earth, she helps us. She helps us with our mind and with our Claire Cognizance. And then we've just recently, 1st of May, we've come at Beltane, because you'll see along the lines that go into the centre, you'll see the festival time. So the spring equinox is the fire, and then the next one down is Beltane. That's the 1st of May. And we've now moved into the sacred blossom and bloom, which is the southeast. Now there's a shift, there's a noticeable shift between full-on creating and lots of mind stuff, but from our soul. I'm not talking about the ego mind, although the ego mind can get in the way, of course, which is why we need to ground and root and listen to our intuition. So there's a shift, there's a softening that happens with the arrival of the abundance of flowers and blossom and bloom. So I invite you to notice, to come aware if that's real for you. Because certainly for me and for others, we notice a softening when the flowers start to come, and there's more emphasis on pleasure, on enjoyment, on doing things you love, and loving what you're doing, and stopping and noticing the beauty rather than the full-on creativity of spring. This is just this. It's still spring. There's a lot happening, but there's a softness about it. So we're moving from the mind into the heart, and then as we move through, we come to the water, and the water is all about emotional healing. And this is the summer solstice. The sun is at its zenith. We're at our fullest, and we can use the water to heal anything, and we can tune into our clairsentience. And there's 2 types of clairsentience. There is the clairsentience of our emotions, what we're feeling, and then there's the clairsentience of the physical clairsentience, so the sensations. Because we all receive our soul's wisdom in different ways. And some people feel sensations like hot and cold, or I was explaining how I got the literally physical shivers from my head to my toes when I picked up those angel cards. So so I just wanted to share that with you. This is the wheel, and as we go around, we go through the whole year, and each part of the year, each season, Mother Earth gives us something that helps us. That helps us with our intuition, that helps us with our healing, that helps us with the wisdom. And I also believe there's another part to this. You see, I believe that we are, for us seekers and healers, we are the sages of old. We're the healers, we're the seers, we're the witches of old. And there is a part of this earth wisdom that we know. We know it so well. And we may have forgotten it. We may be afraid actually even to step into it because of past lives, trauma, or persecution. But we will have it within us. And I believe that Mother Earth, she's here now. She's calling to all of us to wake up. And she she can help us unlock this wisdom. The wisdom that is her wisdom, but it's the wisdom that's our wisdom too. And we've known it in other lifetimes, whether, we've been a healer using herbs, going out, gathering, foraging for the right herbs to use to come back and heal the village, whether or not we've been midwives or soul wives, whether or not, we have used actual earth in ceremony, or if we have been first peoples of the world, and we have this wisdom. And if you're here listening to this, then I bet you also have this wisdom, because you wouldn't be interested in it otherwise. Mm-hmm. So I invite you to give you something to meditate on, and also to notice the different seasons, and knowing that every single season gives us something different. Even when we come to, summer is great. Then we come to Lamas, which is all about gratitude for the grains and the crops. And then we come through the autumn equinox, which is about Mother Earth, and we start to go within. And we come to Samhain, which is the sacred caves and the dark spaces. The caves, oh my goodness, the caves around planet Earth has been used thousands of years for healing, for protection, for laying our beloveds, our people who have passed on. It's mystical places. And then we come back to the air, which is all about the soul, and about connecting with our soul and connecting with our dreams and what we're going to bring in to create for the coming year. So thank you for allowing me to share that.
Yes, I love it. I do. I say I love caves. I don't want to go spelunking in tiny caves. But
right.
there's what they call cenotes here. They're underground water caves with the most pure water you've ever seen. And some of them don't have water, and you can go through and play with the stalactites like musical instruments. And it's just like being enveloped in Mother Earth. There's one we even go to that's a small womb shape, and all around the outside are these stalactites, and and you're just floating in this pure water. So there's so much healing that comes from nature. Well, I want to know if we still have time for the intuition game.
Well, I'm good if you are. It depends if okay, let's do it. I love the intuition game. It's fun. Okay,
well, first here, tell us about your special offer.
You should have a page. Oh, okay. So what I'm offering is, I'm just looking at what you've got there, just because I got it in a different format. So what I'm offering is actually a 10% discount for my course, Rooted Spirit.
Oh, okay.
Which starts on the 27th of May, and it's 7 p.m. UK time, so 1 p.m. Central.
Rooted Spirit. Okay.
So now I can tell you the code, what you need. It's called.
Oh, we've got it. We'll put all of that in there.
Okay, great. Okay, You've got it. So if you just put the code in there, and also the Eventbrite link, so people can go and have a look at it and book it, and you just have to put that discount code and you'll get that discount. And that's a short course. There's 3 2.5 hour workshops, and we go deeper into our connection with Mother Earth and reconnecting to her. We also look at the hotspots around the world. We do visit some of these hotspots. I wish we could truly visit them, but I will bring them to you in terms of the energies that they bring, the healing that they bring. And also we do journeys so that you can find your own hotspots on planet Earth.
Nice.
And then we also look at ceremony. We look at how ceremony has been used, and ritual has been used throughout millennia to connect with Mother Earth, give gratitude for her. So we can't explore every civilization's ritual, but we'll go through a few, and we do our very own. We do our very own ritual, and it just so happens that it's around the summer solstice and it's a full moon, so we're going to do a water ceremony, and it's just great. So I would love if any of you would like to join me or want to find out more, then please get in contact. It would be my absolute joy to have you come and join with me and travel for a few weeks through this reconnecting routing to Mother Earth.
And it's online. So when she says travel, right? Yeah, you don't actually have to travel right now, but you will be traveling. Yes.
Yeah, it's online. Yeah, it is an online course. Thank you for clearing that one up. Yeah, you don't have to travel around the world. Not yet, anyway. That would be nice. We'll do that another time when we can. And then the other thing I just, it is, as I've got a brand new Facebook group called Bright Shiny Souls, and if you join excuse me, then there's membership questions there, and then I will give you the a free guided rooted spirit meditation to take with you and to connect to Mother Earth.
Thank you. Yeah, so you'll get all this information. It'll be by the video, it'll be in your email, or everything you need. And of course, you can always contact us if you are like, where is she? I need to find her. Okay, good. So what's the intuition game?
Okay.
I was like, oh yeah, let's play.
So the intuition game. Okay, so let's start with intuition. There are, I mean, you will know this. I'm sure most of your beautiful guests here will know this. There are 4 main ways that we receive our intuition, and for me, our intuition is our soul's wisdom. It's our GPS to guide us, and so that we can live our true life, our authentic self life, and we can live it for the highest good for ourselves and for others. So the 4 main ways, which I'm sure you know, they're in no particular order, because people get hung up about this in terms of, oh, I wish I could, I've got this, but I wish I could do that.
Exactly.
So, no particular order. We've got the Claire Cognizance. Yeah. Now the Claire Cognizance is when you just know something. You don't know how you know it, and you haven't studied it. It's just, you know it. It's like an inner wisdom that's like, oh my goodness. And it's really easy to access. It just plop, it's like there in your head, right? That's the Claire Cognizance. Then there's the Clairvoyance. And the Clairvoyance is insight, seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And, some people see lots through the third eye. I see lots through my third eye. Some people see things actually in their physical eyes. They can see things. And they can see colors or shapes or stars or even shapes and guides. They can see them in their physical eyes. And then also there's the dreaming. And dreaming is also our intuition, and it's part of the clairvoyance. Okay? Then we have the clairsentience, and I touched upon this earlier. The clairsentience is our feeling, and there's 2 forms of clairsentience. There's the emotional feeling. So when there's something happens and it just, wow, it makes us like feel emotional, like we might actually start to cry. We don't know why we're crying. Or we might feel really joyful and expanded and open, and we don't necessarily know why. Sometimes we do know, but it's that clairsentience of emotions. And then there's the clairsentience of the body, so the body sensations, the heat, the cold, the tingling, even the gut feeling, you know, that gut rumblings and the goosebumps, the angel bumps, as I call them. There are sensations that our body just gives us that something's going on, something to pay attention to, right? And then there's the clairaudience, and the clairaudience is the hearing. And some people have very strong clairaudience, so they hear things. They can hear their name being called, or they can hear conversations in spirit. They can hear their guides or angels. So and then there are two other smaller ones. There's the smelling, and taste actually is another one. And sometimes we can have a little bit of this with the others, but for the purpose of the game, we'll stick to the four main ones. Okay. So what I invite you to do is okay, let's start with something simple. So I invite you just to think of a book that you have recently read, okay? And I'd like you I don't want you to think about it too long. I just want you to, what's the first thing that comes to your mind that do you remember the cover? Do you remember the look of it, the illustrations in it, the design that's on the front of the cover? Or was there an aha moment in there, that there was just some wisdom that seemed to be imparted whilst you were reading it? Or was it the feelings? Was it the feelings that were invoked within you as you were reading this book? Either the emotional feelings, or did you get some weird sensations in your body? Or could you hear voices? And when I say that, I mean, could you hear spirit talking to you? Or could you hear, perhaps if you were reading a novel, perhaps you could hear the characters. Perhaps the characters came alive in the way that they spoke. Yeah? So I just invite you just to jot it down. Just which one was it? Because obviously, if it's the image, if it's the seeing, if it's the design, that's the clairvoyance. The Claire Cognizance is the knowing. The clairsentience is the feeling. And there's two types. And then the clairaudience is the hearing. Because the point of this game is that we're going to find out which one or two, sometimes three, are stronger for you. So it will help you with your intuition. So now I'd like you to think about a movie that you've recently seen. Okay, you got one? It could be a show if you haven't got a movie. But just whatever, the first thing that comes into your mind. And I'd like you to really just sit with what comes up first. Do you remember the visual effects, or the costumes, or the topography, the geography with the beautiful spaces? Was it all the visual that you remember? Or was it the wisdom? Was there something in there that you just knew? It's just like, wow, I knew that. I don't know how I know that, I just know it. Was there that aha moment in there for you? Or was there the feelings, emotional, or the sensations? Or perhaps you were watching something and something really stirred within you, or you could feel something with your body. Yeah? Or was it the sound? Was it the score? Was it the music? Or was it the accents of the characters, or the sound of the places, like the sound of the ocean, or the birds, or the wind, whatever? Yeah? Okay. And now I'd like you to just think back on the meditation that we've just done. Where you went, where you found yourself, the blossom and the bloom, where you took yourself. And what do you remember most about it? Was it the visual? Can you remember seeing everything so clearly? The colours, the brightness of the flowers, or wherever you were? Was it the wisdom? Was it the knowing? Or was it the feeling? The feeling, the sensations in your body, or the emotions? Or did you hear something? Did you hear something when you were doing that meditation? Perhaps you heard nature. Perhaps you heard the wind. Perhaps you really heard the birds and the buzzing of the bees. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just like you to have a look and to see if there's one or two that are just a little bit stronger, or even like so much stronger than the other ways of receiving your wisdom. And then that will help you in noticing it, because you can focus on it. You go, okay. And also you can trust it, because this is the wisdom of your soul.
That was fun. We've talked, of course, about intuition a lot on this, and I often share also with my clients that, way back in many years ago, when I started this, I couldn't see anything. I didn't get visions. I didn't get sensations. I didn't get anything, and I was frustrated, like most people, as it developed, and it was. Now it's visual. Every one of those things that you mentioned, it was the visual for me, and I get constant visions. This morning I had several private sessions, and it's just everything starts coming in that. I do the other ones as well, but it was humorous to me that these were all three of them, even the journey into the earth and all of that you took us on. Immediately I saw the visuals of it.
Yeah, it is interesting, and for me, when I first started my service, my work with all the intuitive healings and readings, it was my clairvoyance that was the strongest, clearly the strongest. But over the years, what's happened is actually my Claire Cognizance has grown to be equally as strong as the clairvoyance.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting that these things can shift and change.
They do, yeah.
And also you can develop them. You
Yep.
can develop them.
Absolutely.
So I hope you enjoyed it. That was just a bit of fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Just look how intuitive you all are.
Yeah. Well, I think it is fun too, because like I said, I do many of them, and I guess the knowing is as big, but for me, all of them was like, yeah, visual. I saw the cover of the book, saw the picture, the movie, some people in it, their clothes were what popped out at me, and then the visuals of going down into the earth it's like a painting. It's like going through a painting for me.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh, well, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. So as before we close, is there anything that you want to close with or leave everyone with?
Actually, I think what would be lovely if I just, as a priestess, I will bring you the blessing of Mother Earth, and the blessing of the sacred blossom and bloom. So I just invite you just to close your eyes just for a minute, and to breathe in, just to focus back on your heart. So I bring you through the energy of sacred Mother Earth, for you to know that you are of her, for you to know that you are never on your own, for you to know that you are loved by her, you are held by her. And we are all interconnected. We are all interdependent on her and on each other. And as we open ourselves up, as we follow our soul's wisdom and follow our authentic sovereign self. We help her. We help her. She blesses us, and we bless her. Bringing through the love, the beauty from the sacred blossom and bloom, wherever you are in this world. Bringing through that love, that heart healing. Bringing you through beyond separation and into oneness, into the oneness of your soul, into Source, and with Mother Earth, and with all of life here on Mother Earth. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I had a blast.
Yeah. I hope we can play again someday.
I do hope so. Thank you so much for asking me, and I would love to play with you. I really honor your beautiful energy. You're so much fun. You've got so much wisdom to share, and thank you for doing this so that you can share that wisdom and share the wisdom of others. What a gift you are.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. I look forward to today. We can maybe play in person again on the planet.
You're always welcome. You're always welcome.
Oh, my. Oh, okay, everyone. So thank you. We'll be sending you all the information. You can go to your special page and, what is your website?
Okay, yeah, great. Thank you. It's www.Rachel, and that's Rachel, intuitivehealer.com.
And we'll have that for you as well. But this way now everybody has it. So
okay, beautiful. Well, thank you everybody for coming. It's been so much fun.
Thank you.
Lots of love to everybody.
Thanks. Take care.
You
All
too.
right. So thanks, everybody. Let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. We're so grounded. We're so sensual right now, connected to all of our senses and to this earthy energy and to blooming and blossoming in colors and showing ourselves. So let's take a deep breath in. And let your senses open up. It's such a beautiful time for that, to fill your eyes with the visions of the beautiful flowers and your smell and your senses of all of these awakening life forces that we have right now. So breathe it in and take it all the way down to your feet. And I want you to see yourself walking through your day. Every step, you're leaving an imprint of some beautiful energies, bringing in your gifts, connecting with the earth, receiving from her and gifting her. Kiss her with your feet and receive. Give yourself that love too. And go out and blossom. Pick a moment today when you're just going to open yourself up and let whatever beauty is ready to open up and share. Maybe there'll be someone there, maybe they won't. All right, everyone. Namaste. Thank you so much, Rachel. Everybody take care. Thanks, everyone over on YouTube. We will see you soon.